Shabbat shalom, my friends. Even as we mourn the loss of Israelis, adults, as well as children, civilians, as well as soldiers, Jews and non-Jews alike, even as we mourn the loss of Palestinians, adults, as well as children, civilians, and innocent bystanders alike, so do we have every reason to cautiously celebrate the Hafsakat Aish, the ceasefire, the hudna, or truce, that has come to Israel and Gaza. In Hebrew, a hafsakah is a temporary break in the action. Emphasis? Temporary. In Arabic, hudna similarly expresses something that will not last for a long time. Emphasis? Temporary. The previous Hafsakat Aish lasted from 2014 to 2021 because nothing positive, nothing substantive changed in the relationship between Israel and Hamas, Israel and the occupied territories, Israel and the Palestinian Authority, and between Hamas and its Israel-hating supporters around the world, Hamas and the mullahs of Iran, Hamas and its intractable hatred of the Palestinian Authority, because nothing really changed in multiple areas. The ceasefire finally broke down. The hudna met its expected demise, but now a reset button has been pushed. That's it. The prize we received from this murderous exchange was another short span of time to bring about positive changes. This moment, as it is, in my mind, is no occasion for a Shehecheyanu. It is a time for those American Jews who are fully and forever committed to supporting Israel as a Jewish state, homeland of the Jewish people, to seek out partners within Israeli society who embrace a social justice Zionism, to strengthen their hands and to stiffen their will to do all that lies within Israeli hands to bring about that positive change without which peace, shalom, will never be secured. And as for Hamas, their fate lies in the hands of both their Palestinian supporters, their Palestinian enemies, as well as with the Arab megapowers. May this period of reset create a setting within which real peace, real lasting shalom can finally flourish. Okay, our Sedra is NASO, Numbers chapter 4, verses 21 and following. Now, I promised you richness and fascinating stories in the book of Numbers. I remember, I promise. So here we go. The Levites are assigned some fascinating and challenging specific tasks. Then, a declaration that the Israeli camp must be kept holy. That means removing from the camp all who are defiled. That means setting up an ordeal by which a woman accused of adultery can be tested through a primitive ritual, and her failure of the ritual would lead her to be cursed forever with infertility. By the way, point this out, the man involved is never tested. Obviously. That means creating a category, a status, known as the Nazarite. You've heard of this. One who makes a vow of abstinence for a limited period of time. Now, who was the most famous Nazarite of them all. No, I didn't say Nazarene. We know what that refers to. Nazarite. That's right, Samson. And that's why, of course, he never cut his hair until he got into an unfortunate relationship. And that means a powerful closing line to our Sedra, a line that has been debated seemingly forever. Quote, when Moses went into the tent of meeting to speak with God, he would hear the divine voice addressing him from above the cover that was atop the Ark of the Covenant between the two cherubim. That line offers guaranteed full-time employment for rabbis who choose to struggle a lifetime to figure out just exactly what's going on here. But I left something out. I didn't fool you in the least, right? You caught it? In the middle of this Sedra, we find the universally known priestly benediction, Birkat Kohanim. The Eternal bless you and keep you. The Eternal deal kindly and graciously with you. The Eternal bestow divine favor upon you and grant you peace, or should I say, grant you peace. So universally known, so universally misunderstood. Who's doing the blessing here? The Kohanim, the priests, were supposed to recite the benediction on specific occasions with their hands aloft in what some today call, not really true, the Vulcan salute. But by the way, that salute was directly copied from Leonard Nimoy's encountering the priestly benediction in his Boston synagogue. That moment of blessing is thought to be so powerful that to this day, in Orthodox congregations, fathers shelter their children beneath their talitot, lest the children look up and see the Kohanim during the blessing. But the Torah insists that all blessings, even this one, come from God and not from human beings. So there's a next verse that follows the threefold blessing. Quote, thus God says, shall they place my name with the people of Israel, and I shall bless them. And I shall bless them. Not even the priests have the power to bless anyone. The priests, they're vessels, they're channels for blessings that flow only from God. So blessings are out of our hands. Kohanim can look as if they're blessing us. Some of them may even think that in fact they are blessing us. But all that they are really doing is opening up spiritual channels between God and ourselves. It's different in our home on Friday evenings. Through the incredible blessings of Zoom, Risa and I offer the priestly benediction to our children and grandchildren every week, ending with the phrase that anaya varech et ahavatenu, may God bless our love for one another. We aren't functioning here as priests. We aren't channels for divine energy. We are just expressing our fervent hope that our kids and grandkids will have good, worthy, healthy, satisfying lives. No human being can offer words that transcend the natural order of life. Our words can invoke ancient rituals, or the support of community, or the dreams of our people, or our passionate concern, or our hopeful intentions, but our words cannot transcend the natural order of life. But we aren't helpless here. We are not without agency. Even as we find authenticity and inspiration in the words of blessing in our Sedra for thousands of years, they have inspired us. I would like to do something now totally chutzpahdik. Chutzpahdik, impudent and impertinent. I want to pair the Birkat Kohanim, the threefold blessing, with the words of Debbie Friedman. That, my friends, is chutzpah. Debbie wrote so many wonderful liturgical pieces, but I am thinking now particularly of LECHI LACH, the English, which I will not sing. LECHI LACH, go you. LECHI LACH, to a land that I will show you. LECHI LACH, LECHI LECHA, to a place you do not know. LECHI LACH, on your journey I will bless you. Here's the part. And you shall be a blessing. LECHI LACH. And you shall be a blessing. LECHI LACH. And you shall be a blessing. That's a worthy dream. That's our vision. That's our hope. To so live our lives that we make the world a better place, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. To be a blessing means to set aside words and to embrace deeds. To be a blessing means to be powerful role models to all who meet us. To be a blessing means to stop embracing moral murkiness and to stand tall as living exemplars as to how our world could be. So, may God continue to find ways to cause blessings to flow into our lives. And may our own actions bring beauty and truth and goodness and peace to our world, to the Middle East, to everywhere. That's it. Shabbat shalom. Let's meet again next week in a world